Hello, my friends, and Falcha, welcome. You know, poets in all times and places, certainly including the early Irish poets and poets right up until today, have well understood the immense creative power of praise. And that's what I'd like us to speak about today. Welcome, and my name is Kate Chadbourne. I am a poet myself and a singer, a storyteller, and a scholar and teacher of Irish language and folklore for now more than 25 years, amazing to say. I'm the founder of the Bardic Academy, which is a school for poets and singers and storytellers and harpers and pianists, and also the Celtic Wisdom School, where we study Irish folklore mainly in a way that includes creativity and self-growth. So as I said, I'm really interested in praise, in the creative power of praise. You know, when I teach Irish language, the very first proverb that I share with my students is this: Mála nóige agus tucaí sí. Mála nóige agus tucaí sí. Praise youth and it will flourish. And literally that means praise the youth and it will come. It will get there. I love that proverb because I think it applies to all of us at any stage of our life, because we're all young in something, right? I'm young in the making of YouTube videos, really. And when you're beginning to learn a language or learn anything else, you're youth in that, and you require praise. And praise, if we praise what's young in us and what's young in each other, we help that come to fruition. And that to me is so powerful. Another proverb we always look at is Mullen an obair an fear. Mullen an obair an fear. And that means the work praises the man. That's beautiful, isn't it? What we make is a testimony to who we are, to our intention, to our care, to our mindfulness. So we can see the effects of praise. Now, again, coming back to the early Irish poets for a moment, you know, they really saw praise as very powerful. In fact, it could make someone's reputation, a leader's reputation, or it could destroy it. A modern proverb, so we had praise and we have satire. Maybe we'll talk about those sometime in the context of early Ireland, but I just loved this pair of proverbs. Mas mailat de walu fai bas. Mas mailat de walu fai bas. If you would like to be praised, literally get death. Like, that's a tongue-in-cheek proverb that says, you know, none of us is perfect, which is so true. And if you want to be praised, you might as well just go ahead and die. And then the pair, which is not always said, but this makes me laugh, is Mas mailat de chainu pos. If you would like to be criticized, die. Oh, sorry. That was, if you want to be praised, die. If you want to be criticized, get married. So anyway, I just love those. Now, I want to give you a little side wind here. We have some poems coming up, but I wanted to talk to you just briefly about this amazing dictionary. And this is Father Dineen's dictionary. It is if you're starting out, it wouldn't be maybe the first dictionary to get, but once you've been learning Irish for a while, it really is a treasure trove of beautiful things. So as I was thinking about this video and just poking around as I love to do, I came across under the word praise this phrase, Mollum go crinneamh na gréine é. Mollum go crinneamh na gréine é. I praise him to the trees of the sun. I have never seen that before. That's why we look. This is a dictionary from the 1930s. That's why it's worth looking back in this dictionary or any old dictionary you have. I praise him to the trees of the sun. And then because I was interested in looking around a little bit, I thought let's look some more and see if Father Dineen has anything about the sun. You know, this beautiful Angrian Giri, which means the winter sun, which that's not a surprise. But Father Dineen glosses that as something very precious. The winter sun, something very precious. That moved me so much. I love this word play. And just one more before we come to the poems. I loved learning Kigelt na Gréine ar loch. Kigelt na Gréine ar loch, which Father Denis glosses as the playing of the sunlight on a lake. But literally, kigelt means the tickling. So the tickling of the sun on a lake. As you can see, there's just so much fun to be had in dictionaries. So I wanted to share with you 3 bits of a poem. We won't read the entire poems because these are, or at least 2 out of the 3 are quite long. This poem, Early Irish Lyrics, translated by Gerard Murphy, just again, full of beautiful things. So in my last video, we were talking about May, and I mentioned that some of the themes of May are, especially in folk practice, are a feeling of the presence of fairies and also the lighting of bonfires. That really starts off a season of bonfires. It goes really through the summer. And one of the listeners mentioned that it's also a time devoted to the Blessed Virgin, Our Lady. And I thought that was a beautiful thing to remember and to add in. And just to say on that note, that when we look at especially Irish creativity, Irish expression, Irish tradition over time, there are layers on layers on layers. And we enter wherever we like to go and look for whatever is beautiful and inspiring to us. That's how I work. So I wanted to share with you just a little bit of this invocation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And Kathleen, if you're watching, this is for you. This poem is attributed to Saint Colum Cille, who is one of my favorite saints. He lived in the 6th century. He died in 597. However, the language of the poem dates it to about the 11th century, and that often happens. So I just want to read to you a couple verses of this poem. It's absolutely beautiful. She's called a shining one, a gleaming one, a resplendent one. But listen to just these 2 little verses. O glorious choice star, O tree in bloom, mighty torch whom all would choose, sun who warms everyone. O ladder of the great fence through which step the pure, may you be our safeguard to glorious heaven. All of those, aren't they wonderful, those metaphors? So she is called here, O glorious choice star, O tree in bloom, O mighty torch, O sun who warms everyone. And there's our link to the trees of the sun. Malum go crinnev na Gréine é. I praise him to the trees of the sun. She's also the ladder, a ladder of the great fence through which step the pure. And if you've been to Ireland and you know the stiles, the crossing over places, that's what I'm imagining, sort of heaven on one side of the stile. And Mary is acting as that one that helps us get over the stile. I think that is so beautiful and also inspiring to us as poets to pile on the metaphors. Isn't that gorgeous? You know, that you can actually, you don't have to take one metaphor all the way through, right? You can actually, in a praise poem especially, load them on. They're so beautiful. Each one is a gem. And just one thing to call attention to in that poem, when she is called a flourishing tree, the word in Irish is billa, and that's more than cran, which is an ordinary tree. A billa is a holy tree, and often it is the tree that you find beside a holy well. And often it is the tree upon which people hang clouties or clooties, which are little bits of cloth that usually, if it's a holy well, a healing well, they have dipped that bit of cloth into the healing well and bathed whatever part of themselves might be afflicted. Say it's an eye well, they will wash their eyes with that and then hang the clootie on the billa. And according to sympathetic magic, as the wind takes away that little piece of cloth, so goes the ailment. And here I just want to say syncretism, right? We have these things that are braided together. I see the beauty and the holiness in them. I'm not too fussed about saying one thing has to be one thing and another has to be another. And I love, and as far as I can see, Irish people through the centuries have been pretty comfortable with saying, we love to use the healing well and we love to pray to Mary. It's all good. So that, I hope that might inspire you to write a praise poem which uses many metaphors. Now, a couple other poems. This is a poem. Now, let me show you this book, Duanaire, Poems of the Dispossessed. Run and get this book because it's so great. Poems from 1600 to 1900. There's an entire section in here. The first section is on transitional poems of the 17th century that are coming out of that. They're still written in the strict meters, which are very elaborate rhyming and metrical systems. And then there is a section later in the book which looks at, which includes folk poems, and we'll come to those. So I just wanted to read to you a little bit. I think this is Mechan da Haach de Skaden. My hail herring, you've come. Like my affection, you're coming. My delight, you've come. So I just want to read a few verses of this. Hail herring, herring as in the fish, right? Hail herring, you've come. My fine son, come close. Your health, 100 greetings. You well deserve our welcome. By my father's hand, herring, though Boyne salmon are fine, I made this poem for you, most noble and most fresh. Sir, whose wholesome body gives no lying promise, I have found no friend like you. Let nothing mean divide us. Herring, gentle and jovial, our mainstay in time of Lent. Of course, eating fish through Lent. My friend's favorite son, it was long until you came. Though many of your close kin fell last year across this plate, brood not in anger or in spite, you that are friend to poets. That, I can't even tell you the delight that brings me. The herring as a friend to poets, but a little bit more. Herring, salty, serene, not shut in self or sour. Your coming causes no pang. My eye rests on a friend. As tormented Lent begins, sir, with whom we drink, for you, till Easter comes, my love is great and growing. Is more magrasa, is rowar. Is more magrasa, is rowar. My love is great, and it is truly great. That poem, I wanted to include the idea that the herring is friend to poets is so truly delightful to me. And I believe, here's what I take from that. Everything can be a friend to you, poet. And we'll talk another time about, I'd like to encourage you to take that on, to be a poet in the world. I think it's one of the best things to be. But everything can swim into your notice, pun intended. Everything can be appreciated. We can praise, right? We can praise the food on our plate so lavishly, so with such affection, right? Is more magrasa, is rowar. Magrasa, my love, is more magrasa. It's great, my love. Is rowar. My love is great and growing. So beautiful. Now, finally, I want to read a poem that I love so much. This is from, again, still here, Duanaire. This little poem, according to the editor, says that this poem might have been a fragment of something longer. It's a folk poem, so we don't have more of it. It is ravishing, and it's a praise poem for a woman. However, given that it's in the 18th century, it may well be a praise poem for Ireland herself. I'm going to read it in Irish because it's so beautiful, and then I'll read the English. It's not long. She bla gal na shmeri, she bla jas na su crevi, She planned a bar main way le hork de hool. She ma chushla, she ma rooney, she bla na no guri. Is sauru in sanuachti, et your nolig is kashk. She's the blackberry flower. She's the fine raspberry flower. She's the plant of best breeding that your eye could behold. She's my darling and my dearie. She's my fresh apple flower. She is summer in the cold time between Christmas and Easter. That is so beautiful, so beautiful. And again, just as in the Invocation to the Blessed Virgin Mary, that is a poem of many metaphors. So I'd love to encourage you, me, all of us, to write a poem of praise. If you write a praise poem and want to share it with us, we would welcome it with open arms, and I might add, a great deal of praise. Barring that, here's an idea. Now, when we think about using praise to encourage, right, as we have that Málanoiga agus Chachishi, praise youth and it will flourish. I'd love to invite you to maybe share two things. One thing that you just want to praise, that you think is praiseworthy, and perhaps a second thing that you would like to praise and have it grow. My love is great and growing. See what you think. And in any case, let's think about praise this week, and let's be lavish and generous with our praise. There is so much beauty and goodness in this world, and praising is a creative way for us to really be in relationship, in warm, beautiful relationship with all that is good. So thank you so much, as ever, for watching. I'm going to be sharing a video every Wednesday, I've decided. Wish me luck, and I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe to this channel. I love every one of your comments. Thank you for those. Please do leave a comment, and I'd be grateful for any likes that you care to share with me. I'll take them as a little bit of a praise poem, a tiny thumbs up praise poem. So thank you again, everyone, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week, praising everything great and good in your life. Goodbye for now.